What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gotian's Games. Today I'm bringing you something new, which actually goes more along the lines of what the channel is about, because the channel is about gaming. So what better way to talk about, games and to bring everything to you than to give you recommendations, right? Because let's face it, I don't want the channel to just be about one thing. This is a gaming channel. We do a whole bunch of things. We do let's plays, we do live streams, we do everything gaming related. So with this new series, I guess, whatever, we'll just call it, I'm gonna call it Gotian's monthly recommended games, or something along the line of like that. Whatever the title says of the video, that's what it is. So anyways, the way that I'm gonna do it is every month I will be bringing you recommended games. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it's games that came out in that month. It could be an old school game that maybe I picked up, or that like I've just decided to revisit or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, I don't know why I never recommend this. Now I know I haven't done a video game review in a while, so that's not what we're doing. This is a recommended list, or recommended games. So it could be just one game, it could be many games, it could be a couple games. So that's what we're doing. And for today, we're giving you recommended games that I picked up this month. So let's go ahead and start. First things first, I picked this up today. This actually came out yesterday. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about yet, South Park: The Fractured Butthole, or so they don't get in trouble, The Fractured Butthole. So definitely recommend a game. Even though I haven't played it yet, I played the first one. I absolutely love the first one, and I'm a South Park fan. Now the good thing about this game is, even if you're not really a South Park fan, but you're an RPG fan, these games are very, very good as far as like with the RPG elements. The first game did an extremely well job of having a fantastic combat system. It was a turn-based system. It played a lot of throwbacks to old school RPGs and stuff like that. So the story about this game is the kids, or the friends, basically they end up in a civil war, which is mocking the Civil War, in Marvel. So they end up in a civil war because they can't decide what kind of franchise they want to run with their superhero friends, or their superhero teams. Cartman wants to do like a Marvel Cinematic Universe type of deal, where he wants to do a couple movies, he wants to do a Netflix series and all this other stuff. And then the other kids, some of the other kids, they want to do more like a DC type of thing, where it's just like a whole bunch of movies, and then they do a couple TV shows and stuff like that. So it's like they can't decide on how they want to branch out on their franchise, and so they end up in a civil war. But of course, being a South Park game and a South Park theme, of course something much bigger happens, and that's how it is. Like in the first game, you had the kids, they were playing a very Lord of the Rings kind of game, where it was elves versus humans and stuff like that, and it ended up being something much, much bigger. So it turned out to be a fantastic game. It was very well received. The first one was very well received, as well as very anticipated. It had been put off in production for so long because they had a lot of licensing issues, because the original developer, which I believe was THQ, they went out of business. So then Bethesda picked it up, and then they branched it off to Obsidian, because Obsidian is owned by Bethesda, so they just branched it off that way. And okay, that's a nice pumpkin. And so this game now it had similar issues, that it was constantly being pushed off. and so a lot of people were like, oh, is this game really gonna come out? But it did. It finally got released. South Park: The Fractured Butthole, and there's also a season pass for extra storylines and whatnot, because that was something that they didn't do in the first game. They didn't have. So that was something they didn't have in the original game. They didn't do any DLC, which was kind of interesting, because I always thought they could have revisited old storylines from the show, which would have been a lot of fun to do. One of the things I mentioned was doing a DLC of the superhero stuff. Another thing I mentioned was like Imagination Land or the Christmas Critters and things like that. But turns out the superheroes, they turned it into an entire game, which was awesome. I'm so excited to play this. I will be doing a Let's Play series on this. So I'm going to record my first few videos on this tonight. So expect to see the first video of this probably sometime later on in the week. So right now it's Wednesday. So the other game that I want to recommend for the month is for you guys who are 3DS fans, Metroid Samus Returns. Okay, what you're looking at here, this is the special edition of Metroid, and also, so if you're not aware, Metroid Samus Returns, this is a remake, a complete ground up remake of the second Metroid that originally came out on the Game Boy. Yes, the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, not color, not advanced. No. The original Game Boy, the black and white Game Boy. Okay, so I can't wait to play this and to see how beautiful the game looks. With the backgrounds being 3D rendered, it's still a side scroller like it was back in the day. Something to note, that this game has been so well received. It actually got Game Informer's Game of the Month, and I'm seriously, I'm super excited to play this game. If you don't know, the original Metroid did get a remake. That was Metroid Zero Mission. If you've never played that, that's the remake of Part 1. So this is the remake of Part 2. And the Metroid series, it's not something that Nintendo, like, they don't tend to scrimp on this series. This is one of their heavy hitters, and so whenever they bring out a Metroid game, they usually go all out for it. And even Metroid Prime or Metroid Other M, as that game wasn't as well received as the other ones, but Other M was still it's a decent game. It really is when you're playing the side-scrolling part of it, because that game, it was a little bit weird, because it went from side-scrolling to first-person view, but the first-person view was really bad, and then the dialogue and all that was really bad in the game. But the side-scrolling aspect of it was actually pretty good. And so anyways, with this coming out, it kind of brings in the question, are they going to remake Super Metroid? Because Super Metroid was actually the third game in the series. So I'm kind of curious. Like, I would be excited if they remade Super Metroid. I know a lot of people are going to be like, hey, Gotian, no. We don't want a remake of Super Metroid. But, I don't see it being bad if they did remake it. I really don't. Especially if they remade it, like, on the Switch. It is something to note that we have Metroid Prime 4 coming out. I don't think it's coming out this year. I think it's coming out next year. But Metroid Prime 4, that's a game that's going to make me buy the Switch. That really is. Because the Metroid Prime series is fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And I cannot wait for Metroid Prime 4. But, this one right here, Metroid Samus Returns, man, I'm going to get to this, and I probably won't be able to put it down, because that's how I am with Metroid games. They're awesome. They really are. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for my recommended list, or, recommended games for the month. So if you want to pick those up, pick them up. Metroid retails right now for $40, but if you buy the special edition, it's $10 more, so it's $50, because it has a nice little pretty box, and it comes with the the soundtrack as well. Fractured Butthole currently retails for $60. If you're buying the game by itself, the DLC is another $25, something like that. I actually have it in here because I got the, since I bought the season pass. Let's see. The season pass is, I'll tell you right now, another $29. So the season pass is $29. So if you're kind of conflicted whether or not you want to buy the season pass or if you just want to buy the gold edition, it is something to note. The gold edition is only available for purchase online. So if you go to like GameStop's website, you can buy it from GameStop's website. It has a season pass in it. It's pretty much the same price though. It's $89, $89.99 retail for the gold edition, and that's pretty much the price you pay for this in the season pass. So it's really not a big difference. The gold edition, the GameStop's only got them for people who reserve them. Otherwise, you'd have to buy it online. But another thing to mention, if you never played the first game, now's a good chance to do it because the first game is included in this game right here. Let me just focus better. Focus. No, stop focusing on me. There you go. So it's included inside the game. You get a DLC code to download the original game. I already have the game, so I'm not going to use the code. So maybe I'll do a giveaway for the code. If anybody, if you guys are interested, I don't see why I wouldn't do it. But yeah, so anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you guys are new. I'll be doing this every month. Like I said, it's not going to be particularly games that released in the month, although next month is November, and I can already tell you I already know one of the games I'm going to recommend for November, which is going to come out in November. So anyways, just keep an eye out for that next month, and I will catch you all later. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, night, whatever time zone you're at. Peace out, guys.